Hello and welcome, everyone. It is 1 o'clock Central, so we will get started. Thank you for tuning in to today's webinar, 30 Tools to Prepare Your Health Science Students for Competitive HOSA Events. My name is Emily, and I will be your moderator today. Presenting, we have Denise DuBois and Shikha Goodwin, two of our product managers here at Realityworks. Denise has been with us for over 10 years and is a frequent presenter, trainer, and blogger for all things related to facts, health sciences, EMS, and human services. Denise has experience teaching in Wisconsin and in Minnesota, and she is also a current member of the Executive Council for NCHSE. Shikha has been with Realityworks for a little over a year, and she earned her doctorate in biomedical engineering at the University of Minnesota, as well as her master's in chemical engineering from Georgia Institute of Technology. Shikha has a passion for education and has served on a variety of volunteer organizations ranging from Little Sister and Big Sister of Society of Women's Engineers. They are great resources for today's webinar. Before we get started, I do want to cover a couple things. First, today's presentation is being recorded and everybody will receive a link to the recording as well as the handouts and the PowerPoint that Denise and Shikha will be going over. You will also receive a certificate of completion for attending today's presentation. You should see that in your email within 24 hours after the webinar. We will have time at the end for a Q&A session, so if you do have any questions, please feel free to type those in the chat or the Q&A feature located at the bottom of your screen, and we will cover those at the end. With that being said, I'm going to go ahead and pass things over to Denise to get us started.
Thank you, Emily, and welcome everyone. You know, we chose this topic because we know CTSO competitive events can help your students learn and apply skills, everything from leadership to those technical healthcare skills. And we've even participated for many years at the national conference. And some of us have even had the opportunity to judge those student competitions, and those students do an amazing job. So we want to help those students be successful, and we have tools that can do that. So I'm going to turn it over now to Shikha, and she's going to start with number 1.
Thank you, Denise. So I'll get started. And the first tool that I have for you is a soft skill program to introduce participants to caring for patients with intellectual disabilities, mental illness, and PTSD. Additionally, it will help them to provide and develop soft skill strategies for meeting those needs. This hands-on kit includes dementia and auditory hallucination simulators, as well as curriculum, scenario cards, and student workbooks. Some of the specific content it can help students learn about the events fall under the psychology and behavioral health disorders, treatments, therapies, and service and prevention, identification, recovery and management of substance abuse and mental illness. These topics are 50% of the test content. So one of the things I want to say is, if any of you have actually used this tool for HOSA or in your classroom, please feel free to chat and tell that in the comment box so that others can learn. Or if any of you have any other tools that you would like to recommend other people's in the chat, please put that in the chat too for the same event. Okay, so I will move on to the number 2. This is a fetal development kit. With this developmental kit, students get an in-depth look at embryo and fetal development. Students can touch, feel, and examine a detailed life-size model of each fetal developmental stage. Additionally, it incorporates the included curriculum for a very complex experience. The product also includes 8 plastic models, which includes 1 normal uterus and 1 fetal development model for each of the 9 months of pregnancy. So this product really helps prepare students for the portion of the test on prenatal questions, which is 7% of the test. I have a third kit here, which is actually an award-winning wearable real care geriatric simulator. And this enables users to personally experience a variety of age-related physical challenges, such as stooped posture and restricted range of motion. The experience helps them develop a unique sensitivity and understanding towards the elderly. The aging simulator includes a sensitivity suit, a walker, a storage case, as well as curriculum. And the topics that you can expect in this simulator range from visual impairment, exploring geriatric and gerontology, declining mobility, impact of aging on bones and joints, hearing loss, cognitive changes with aging, amazing aging, and geriatric experience. So this can be used to prepare students for advanced old age and geriatric portion of the test, which is 5% in the portion in their test. So the next one I have here for you is ethical and legal issues in healthcare program and online course. So this is a brand new program and it is available in two formats. One is online to keep up with current demands in COVID times, and one is paper-based, which is actually very recommended because students are using both of their cognitive powers. And both of these are a 10-lesson programs, and they include topics such as following: legal responsibilities and implications, patients' basic rights and responsibilities, informed and implied consent and advanced directives, safety, privacy, and confidentiality of health information, social media and healthcare, ethical foundations, ethical versus legal issues, contemporary ethical dilemmas, religious cultural values, ethical issues involving lack of capacity and end of life. So this conveniently touches a lot of aspects in the test. The next and the next topic that I have in front of you is a pharmacology kit. So basically this kit incorporates a geriatric medication management simulation, and it's one of a kind learning aid to enhance your classroom activities. It helps students build empathy and understanding of the challenges experienced by the elderly who have multiple medications to manage. The kit enables users to experience a loss of tactile sensation and visual impairment while trying to manage several prescriptions. This product will help prepare students to answer test category questions on geriatric adaptations. So again, a reminder, if you have used this or have other products, please feel free to comment on the chat box. Next I have for you here is an adult nursing mannequin. This helps you create a realistic, interactive scenarios for practicing over 20 basic care procedures, including CPR with the award-winning adult nursing mannequin. This life science mannequin also meets current AHA CPR guidelines. It also includes a feedback device that provides directed, specific, real-time coaching feedback on the rate and the depth of chest compressions. This adult nursing mannequin is a perfect tool to help students prepare for the skills assessment portion of the clinical nursing event. Next I have in front of you is a large injection pad. And this large injection pad features a realistic shape that divides into 3 layers: skin, subcutaneous tissue, and a muscle. It also allows students to see a bleb or a wheal. Liquid may be used with this injection pad, and you can use the Realityworks injection training model to help your students develop key nursing and vet tech skills. Additionally, incorporate the including curriculum for a complete experience. This convenient injection pad can be used for practicing intramuscular, intradermal, and subcutaneous injections that are part of skills assessment. The next I have for you is a geriatric nursing mannequin, which is an elderly medical teaching mannequin that features realistic joints and size. Students can use it to practice over 15 basic nursing functions, from hair to face washing to colostomy care. It includes a curriculum that addresses basic patient care procedures as well as soft skills. This can be used to prepare students for the written test as well as the skills assessment. And some skills you can practice are changing a dry dressing using a non-sterile technique, giving a back rub, caring for dentures, moving a patient up in a bed using a draw sheet, or applying elasticized stockings. Next one I have for you is the award-winning blood pressure simulator, which is one-of-a-kind training tool. It helps to teach and practice proper techniques for taking blood pressure prior to actual clinical experience. This wearable simulator distinguishes blood pressure sounds and corticoff phases. Students can use it on a standardized patients or mannequin to help make practice scenarios even more realistic. And you can use this to help students learn how to take the vital signs of blood pressure for the skills assessment. Next, 10th one that I have in front of you is a lifelike ostomy trainer, which provides a realistic simulation for colostomy and ileostomy procedures. And this trainer allows for the application of post-operative and permanent ostomy bags. Use the included simulated stool mix for realistic draining as well as excretion at the ileostomy and colostomy sites. This tool can be used to help students learn ostomy care skills, which are a part of skills assessment. Next one I have for you is specifically catered for a sports medicine, but can be used in a variety of health professions. And this joint model set includes the model of knee, elbow, shoulder, and spine with pelvis and femur. And you can use this 4-piece set to help students understand the underlying structure of these joints. And these realistic anatomical models are an excellent tool to help prepare students for the anatomical landmark portions of the skills assessment. Next, I have in front of you is a taping and wrapping skills sim kit. This bundle will include lessons on identifying and using taping, wrapping and bracing products and procedures, different types of athletic tape, wrapping types, and types of braces. The supplies will include a variety of adhesive and cohesive tapes, variety of bracing types, and elastic wraps. The scenarios in the sim kit will give students a chance to problem solve and determine which wraps and tapes are best for a specific scenario. And this is a perfect prep tool to get students ready for taping and wrapping skills assessment. The next I have for you is a professional event of veterinary science, and this is an animal systems package, and it's a comprehensive solution for teaching anatomy and physiology for large and small animals. This package includes 15 hands-on resources, as well as curricula, presentation slides, activities, and assessment. And you can use this comprehensive package to teach knowledge needed for the written test for both anatomy and physiology. Next, I have for you in front of you is a closed fracture trauma mannequin. This gives you students an hands-on opportunities with palpating, manipulating, and immobilizing closed fractures with our closed fracture trauma mannequin. And additionally, you can use this multi-purpose mannequin to teach 11 other key nursing skills, from intramuscular injection to ostomy care. And the included curriculum completes the experience for both instructors as well as students. And this is a great tool for teaching students how to splint a closed fracture, which is a part of CERT skills assessment. Next, I have in front of you is a trauma wound simulation suit, and you can use this wearable trauma simulation suit and including curriculum to create realistic situations and scenarios. Students can practice handling a bleeding trauma emergency as well as communicating with a bleeding patient. This one-of-a-kind trauma wound simulation suit features 4 built-in wounds: bleeding junctional wound, non-bleeding sucking chest wound, bleeding gunshot wound, and a bleeding laceration wound. This wearable sim suit helps students get hands-on practice on controlling bleeding, which is a part of skills assessment.
Thank you, Shikha. So now you've seen how 15 of our tools can help prepare your students, but we have another 15 more. And we are going to continue on with our emergency preparedness events. And the next tool we're going to talk about and show you is going to help with CPR and first aid. So we have a medium fidelity pediatric nursing mannequin. It's the size of a 3-year-old, and it meets current American Heart Association CPR guidelines. It provides directed, specific, real-time feedback on the rate and the depth of the chest compressions. So in addition to practicing basic life support with this mannequin, your students could use it for pediatric nursing, other procedures to perform up to a dozen different procedures, in fact, and practice clinical skills training. So we think something like this would really be a great hands-on training tool to get your students ready for the child CPR skills assessment. Keeping along in the vein of emergency preparedness, we're going to talk about EMT and our BVM ventilation trainer. Now you can use the BVM ventilation trainer to teach proper techniques for manual ventilation with a big valve mask, as well as oxygen administration via a non-rebreather mask. And this innovative trainer will also help your students experience CPR and BVM ventilation of an apneic adult patient with 1 and 2 rescuer techniques. Now the controller and the software provide real-time feedback by displaying ventilation parameters, including rate and volume. So this BVM trainer can help your students prepare for that BVM ventilation apneic adult patient skills assessment. We're going to continue on with our EMT event, and our next tool is going to be our AED trainer. You can emphasize safety when teaching basic life support and AED skills by using our trainer. It's a really easy to use, easy to operate tool, and it simulates AED procedures without using high tension shock defibrillation. Now the software in it features 9 built-in scenarios that simulate different emergency situations. And additionally, it does come with curriculum that will emphasize cardiac arrest management and AED usage techniques. So we think that this is the perfect prep tool for skill 6, which is cardiac arrest management and AED on that skills assessment. Next, we've got our arm amputation and bleeding control trainer. And you can create realistic practice scenarios focusing on controlling bleeding and hemorrhaging with this arm amputation and bleeding control trainer. It has a realistic look and feel, and it has an upper limb amputation, but it also includes a realistic bone and simulated blood. So the trainer will stop bleeding when a student or teacher applies a tourniquet correctly. So it provides that real-time feedback. And additionally, there is curriculum as well. So a trainer like this aligns best to preparing your students for skill 5, which is bleeding control, shock management in the skills assessment. Number 20, life support skills. Now we're going to talk about our splints and braces supply pack. You can use this comprehensive supply pack to create hands-on opportunities for large groups. This supply pack will include enough materials for multiple students, in fact, a whole class, to practice common immobilization and splinting techniques simultaneously. So the splints and braces are ideal for use on students, standardized patients, or even medical mannequins. And again, it comes with those lesson plans, which we know you love. So skill 6 is broken bone and sprain and splinting, which is part of the skills assessment. And this pack would provide all the things that you need to train on those skills. Let's look again at another thing to help us on our life support skills, and that's our industrial burns kit. So this would specifically help your students prepare for skill 8, which is severe burns. You can bring realism to low or high fidelity practice scenarios using these 4 realistic, durable industrial burns wounds. They're moulage wounds, and they're kind of a one of a kind. They're made of silicone, so they look and feel very, very real. And you can use wounds like this on students, standardized patients, or mannequins to help practice cleaning and treating common industrial burns. And these remove very easily with soap and water. So you can use the lesson plans to integrate the use of these moulage tools to create that realism that students love. Let's continue on with life support skill resources. And the next one we're going to highlight is our Real Care Infant Health and Safety Pack. Now this interactive package brings together our choking baby and our infant CPR mannequin. And it also comes with workbooks and posters and interactive scenario cards. And you can use these great tools to teach over 50 infant safety and health aid procedures. And upon completion, they have that workbook, which is really a great take-home manual that details each of those procedures. So you can address common infant and toddler safety issues and procedures, choking, and CPR. So we feel that this powerful combo could be used to teach the infant BLS skills found on the skills assessment. Next, we want to talk a little bit about leadership. There's a leadership event, and it specifically focuses on interviewing skills. And we have a soft skills program. It's called the Real Career Employability Skills Program. And this program is an engaging, easy to implement program. And it uses hands-on activities as well as some real-world application to teach your students 20 different soft skills, from communication all the way up to interpersonal skills and time management. But one of those lessons also does focus on interviewing skills. You could use something like this with your HOSA students to teach a complete unit on skills. You can generate some real life discussions. You could have reflection activities. They make great short icebreaker activities. So it's very fluid and very flexible in how you would implement it. We also have this as an online course that you could also use to teach the content in a remote learning environment. So there are many, many lessons that could be used to help get your students those interviewing skills that they need for that kind of competition. Keeping that common thread of employability, we also do have a leadership soft skills program that focuses specifically on leadership skills. And we know that CTSOs of all kinds, HOSA included, are masters at helping students learn leadership, giving them leadership opportunities and just becoming a leader in the field. So you could use a program like this to teach 18 different leadership soft skills, from conflict management all the way up to honesty, team building, positivity. But either this program or even our employability would be great assets for your HOSA programs. And just a reminder, these do come in either online formats and also print. Now, we don't want to forget about our middle school competitive events, and there is one dedicated to healthcare career exploration. And we do offer a free 1-week career exploration unit that would be, I think, the perfect companion to preparing your students for this middle school career exploration competitive event. This one includes 5 lessons, 1 lesson on each of those health science pathways. So you could check it out and see if you would want to try one of those with your group, because they're ready to use. Next, for middle school, there's a health career preparation event. And we would like to point out our health science pathway scenario cards. These scenario cards cover real world situations in each of those 5 health science careers. So we've got nursing, geriatric sports medicine, we have EMT and medical assistant scenarios. In each of the decks, it highlights 19 soft skills in real world settings. We had subject matter experts in each of those medical fields actually write those scenarios, so they're very realistic. And those can be used in many different ways. They're very flexible. You could use those as group discussions. You could turn those into things where students pair up and they work their way through that scenario. Or it just gives them some great also career exploration opportunities in the 5 different pathways. Now here's another one for middle school, and it's the Foundations of Nutrition event. And we have a tool called the Diabetes Education Kit. And this kit's a comprehensive package for teaching the impact of diabetes on many parts of the body. So this kit includes models and simulators, as well as activities to provide students with experiences that promote diabetes management as well as prevention. So we think that the information in this kit will help your students prepare for the medical nutrition therapy portion of the exam. Well, we're already to number 28. Again, focusing on middle school foundations of nutrition, we have a brand new sports nutrition lab kit. And this really focuses all about foundations of nutrition as it relates specific to sports. So some of the lessons and topics that you'll find in it include nutrients and how to specifically use nutrients to enhance performance. It talks about body weight, body composition, and body fat. It will teach your students how to read food labels. And then it goes through safe methods for both weight loss and weight gain. It talks about supplements, and then it ends with some substance abuse information. And if you look at the written test on foundations of nutrition, many of these topics can be found on that test. Another nutrition lab kit that we have that's brand new to us is the Food Science and Nutrition Lab Kit. And this is a really engaging way to help your students learn those foundations of nutrition. We have this kit filled with hands-on labs and activities because we want students to be engaged while they're learning. So some of the topics that you'll find in each of the lessons includes a minimum of 2 to 3 lab activities, but there's career planning, there are food safety labs, there are reading food labels, so intro to nutrition. They have nutrition therapy, they have food technology, and they also learn about food science, dietetics, and nutrition. So there's a lot of meat and good content to be found in this kit. But we think it would, again, be very helpful for that foundations of nutrition middle school event. Another event for middle school is healthy lifestyle. And we have a curriculum that's available to you for free at the link on the screen in front of you. But this curriculum is all about making healthy choices for a healthy lifestyle. And it focuses specifically at that middle school level. So you can get free access, like I said, at the link above, and then you can use those lessons to help prepare your students for that healthy lifestyle test. So those are our 30, but wait, there's more. We have a few more things we'd like to share with you today before we get to our Q&A. And first of all, it's the webinars like the one you're experiencing right now. We have ongoing webinars on many other healthcare and health science topics each month. They're always free. You can sign up. Even if you can't attend live, we will send you the handouts, the PowerPoint, and the link to the recording. So you have nothing to lose for signing up, but you might also find additional tools, activities, and just ideas for more ways you can engage your HOSA students and get them prepared for those competitive events. Most of our webinars last around a half an hour, so they're not super long, but they can be really, really helpful. A few more things to point out before we get to Q&A that are free resources for your classrooms. First of all, we have some posters and infographics on a variety of healthcare topics that at the link above, you can print those out and make those available in your classroom. We also have a brand new CNA program implementation guide. And if you're a program that's starting a brand new CNA program from scratch, this is a terrific asset because it will help identify some of the tools that you're going to need to get your program off the ground and how to set it up and so forth. So again, both of those things are free at our website, and you can certainly take advantage of those. And then our last slide on free things, we have a blog, and we frequently have guest writers, instructors, product launches, trends, classroom ideas. A lot of things are shared on the blog for health science, so you might want to check that out. And we always try to be very engaging on many of our different social media accounts, from Facebook to Twitter. What's really fun on some of these, you will even see students sharing when they use some of our products and things in the classroom. So those are great places to go to share as well. So at this point, I'm going to turn it back to Emily, who's been monitoring our chat, and Shikha and I will now be available to answer any questions you might have.
Yep, so someone did request the resources that you went over 2 slides ago. So I did add the free lessons and the Real Care Baby download links in the chat feature. I do want to go over a couple of, one thing before we end is everybody will be receiving a link to the PowerPoint as well as a handout that has all of the links that Denise and Shikha have gone through. You will see that in your inbox within 24 hours after the webinar. So definitely check your spam if you don't see that, but you will be receiving all of those links as well.
Any other questions, Emily, that you saw posted?
Not seeing any other questions coming through at this time, Denise.
All right, well, we'd like to thank you for participating today, and we hope that you have found, out of the 30 or more things that we shared, at least a couple of different resources that you may wish to try with your HOSA students to help prepare them for their competitions this summer. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.